The Grove Podcast.
Hot off the pitch.
Hello, my name is Tabs and welcome to the Grove Podcast, Hot Off the Pitch live stream and post-match instant reaction podcast, where we bring you an instant reaction to the Arsenal game that we've just seen. Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 4, and excuse me, I've got some noise in the background that I just need to turn off. So there we go. Right, anyway, so hope everyone's doing well. We won, which is good. Made it a bit hard for ourselves, but we got there in the end. Anyway, I'm not on my own today, even though I'm only the one showing on camera. So I just want to introduce my guest now in a desperate attempt to attract more of the youth audience to the Grove Podcast. And no, we're not going all AFTV. I have a very, very special guest joining us, someone who I've got to know pretty well over the last 19 years or so. He's been an Arsenal fan all his life, and I mean literally from the day he was born. He's a regular contributor to our 3-word review section. He's cost me a fortune in Arsenal tickets, but it's been worth it. Welcome to the pod, all the way from his room at Warwick University. The boy, my son, Gianluca. How are you doing, and how's your exam revision going?
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honour to be here. I've been a lifelong fan of the Grove Podcast for the whole time that it's been running, and it's a pleasure and an honour to be here with you. And although I was told I was your first choice and optimum guest every week, I have a busy schedule. So it's actually for you, it's an honour to have me here with you today, in my opinion.
It is. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for stepping into the breach, because unfortunately the usual tribe of Ian, Moz, Kasiva and Jamie were unable to make it. So you're our super sub.
I was a bit disappointed on the intro that you didn't have my name, to be honest with you. I wasn't there.
I didn't have your own intro music. No, you're not quite up there with Clive, so I'm not going to do your own intro music. So, well, let's see. We might get there anyway. Anyway, I hope you're doing good. So look, in today's show, as we normally do, we're going to give a reaction to the game. We're going to do your 3 reviews, and also because we're not going to be doing a pod between now and the Chelsea game, we're also going to do a bit of a preview of that game. And we've got something already in the chat about the old time. About time the old fart was replaced with G. Thank you, Moz. Thank you, Moz. You should be here. You should be here in this place. Well, there we go. And you're more than welcome to join the fun if you want to make it a trio. Well, look, I'm teaching him the ropes, so I need him to get used to it, so I can pass it on when we give up.
You guys have 100,000 subscribers and the channel's completely fine, then I'll take over and and I'll have no work to do at all.
There you go. Right, so we might have a long way to wait for that, but there we go. Slowly but surely.
Yes.
Anyway, there we go. So, and look, before we get on with the main pod, if you can give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow on our YouTube channel, on the podcast apps, that's really great. The numbers are growing, the listeners are growing. We really appreciate it. So, and now I'm expecting a flood of sub 19, sub 20-year-olds all flooding the comments. So there we go. Anyway, so Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 4. Let's just get straight into the format. What was your highlight and lowlight of the game?
Well, I think there were 2 obvious lowlights for me. So if we're just going to start right at the start, conceding 2-3 minutes in was probably my lowlight. That, along with maybe the other one you're going to talk about. If you don't, then I can bring it up.
You go for it. We'll play it by ear. It's fine.
The slow start in general. I think, me personally, Kepa probably could have done I think Kepa should have done better with this shot, in my opinion. Like, it was a good height. He palmed it straight into Colby Bishop, who was literally the only person there where he could have been. I don't know if David Raya would have done that, but then that is the issue with rotating these kind of players we have. And then a bit of a slow start. We seemed to be a bit scared with Portsmouth's high press. I don't know if we were a bit unprepared, because they are a very, very high-pressing team in the Championship in general. That is how they play. So I don't really know why we seemed so unprepared. Maybe that's just the nature of the rotated defence or whatever it was. But we seemed a bit unprepared for the fast start of Portsmouth. And then that led to us conceding. So that's my low light, which is a pretty obvious one, but the most notable one, in my opinion.
Okay, no, I hear you. Those aren't actually my lowlights. So I was the same opinion. Kepa should really be pushing that away. There was also a lot of fault with that goal. I think MLS dropped deep. That meant he stayed on side, and the guy Bishop, I think there was nowhere near him. So it was sort of multiple errors, and I think that's just a reflection of a rusty back four, a new back four, and stuff like that. But yes, I think you're right. I think we were caught out by their high press. They started off real fast, real intensity. And maybe that shouldn't have caught us out, and for a team like that, but we'll get on with that later.
By the way, no one there with a cutback as well.
Yeah, no, I think there was multiple things wrong with it. I think maybe we just weren't switched on. I think there was multiple things in it. We weren't switched on. We weren't ready for that real intense start, and maybe that's a learning. And by the way, we just got a comment. Normally, can you move over to one side? Normally wants to see your PSG shower curtain.
Loving Gianluca's own rendition of the shower curtain. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Normie, for that.
Mine in my own room is actually better. I think if they had this at the stadium, then
I think there's a better effect. Yeah, definitely. And what was your highlight before I get onto my lowlight?
That wasn't really much, in my opinion. I feel like the scoreline definitely flashed us. So my highlight isn't really a highlight of how we played or anything like that. It was more of a funny one. When Ben White got nutmegged and then just decided to just shove him to the floor and didn't even get booked for it. He didn't even get booked for it. He got booked later.
Oh, okay. It's not that one.
Up until that point, I thought Ben White was having a pretty solid game, to be fair. Okay. Maybe one of our not our better players, but considering everyone played pretty average, I thought he didn't do too bad. But then I just found it funny. I was struggling to think of one, but I found it funny that he got nutmegged, got absolutely sent, and just classic Ben White, no nonsense, decided to shove him to the floor and didn't even get a yellow card for it.
It was Ben White. I thought he was a bit rusty. I think it was a very typical Ben White coming back, not played for a while, sort of game. He just sort of like his nonplussed expression throughout the whole game always makes me laugh, but also frustrates me. And the way he got that yellow card, and you just knew he was coming off. I think his time had run. So, okay, no, good one. Actually, I had quite a few highlights and my lowlights. So in terms of, I'll start off my lowlights. What you did, I thought, Ezra. I thought this was a chance for him to maybe put his mark on the game, to step up, to be the man, to take control of the game, and look, games pan out the way they do. But I didn't really see him throughout the game. He was a bit anonymous, shall we say? And I was hoping, maybe expecting a bit more. There were opportunities. So I was a bit of a low light not to see him sort of step up. And then a bit like I think you were saying, not just the first 3 minutes, but the fact that it just took us such a while to get control of the game. I think, Portsmouth played really well, and Moz is saying here, like Portsmouth actually played quite well in parts, and I think they did. But I think it was more their intensity, their press, and so on that really, they gave us no room to breathe. They forced us to go long. They cut out our passing channels. So the fact that we found it difficult initially against the team that's struggling at the bottom of the championship, they're fighting for their life there. Now, look, this is the FA Cup, and the old cliche goes, form goes out of the window, and all the and I think this was a very clear case of that. I think the way I thought about it was that how long is that going to last? And it lasted longer than I thought. It was halfway through the second half, and actually you could see it when we scored the third goal. That was starting to tire, starting to switch off. Even before the end of the first half, they were starting to start. And this is where they lose out. They can have the intensity, they can have the press, but again, eventually their physicality is going to be lesser than ours, and they just can't keep that up. So I think they did a brilliant job, made life really uncomfortable for us. But I still think we should have done a better job of controlling that game.
Yeah, to be fair, I was going to mention both of those, but I wasn't putting it in my low light. My low light was like a specific moment of the game. That was my take on it. So to be fair, I was going to mention Ezra. I did.
Yeah, go on. What did you think? What did you think of Ezra?
Well, I sort of agreed with you. I thought it wasn't his time to like put a stamp on the game, but I just thought he was a bit uninvolved. It didn't really matter, but I would have liked to see him get a bit more involved. Because every time, I compare it to Ethan, who I thought when he did get the ball, even though it wasn't as much, he was driving. He looked good. Very fresh and like ready to take his opportunity. I just think, I don't know whether it comes with Eze not playing for 4 games or however, but neither has Ethan. So I don't really think that should be an excuse. So I would sort of agree that he didn't really get on the ball that much. The only thing we saw of him that I really remember was that shot near the end. And that was about it really from him. So no, I do agree.
Yeah. And also welcome to Ian Gunariano, but that's also Ian, aka Ask Cannon Picks. Ian, by the way, the Madueke didn't do a dirty on Moz's 5-1 prediction because was it Gianluca, the butterfly effect that we always talk about? If he had scored that one, who knows what would have happened afterwards? So it could have ended 3-1. So
yeah, that was my other low light mention, the penalty. But
the penalty, yeah, we'll get to talk about the goals. So in terms of our highlights, I got 3 or 4 that was one funny one. One was Havertz being back. I mean, that is very good news. And his first 2 touches in the game were the part, and then the flick round, they were superb, and that, wow, okay, he's back, okay, it's Portsmouth, blah 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 blah, but it's just so good to have him back, and he got involved straight away. So obviously nowhere near the goal and shooting and scoring, but that's Havertz for you. The Nelli hat trick, really pleased about that, given the week he's had. And all the rest of it. It's nice for him to have a bit of a positive end to it, and all the rest of it.
It annoyed me how much they went on about it in commentary.
Yeah,
they actually just kept on rinsing it so much, and it's like they don't. That's not half the story. It's just it annoyed me.
I know, but which then also leads me to a bit of the funny highlight was the Arsenal fans were in brilliant voice. The travelling army were in brilliant voice, and actually that moment when the guy, I can't remember his name, had the hamstring with 10 minutes to go.
I don't know.
Do you know what the crowd was singing?
I remember hearing it, but
Gabby. It was Gabby, push him off. Gabby, push him off. I thought, there we go.
I feel bad for him though, because apparently he's had a recurring hamstring problem. He's just young, and it's like. Not ideal. No, you feel for the guy, and you could just see how it happened, and everyone laughed when he fell over, but you could say, oh god, he's done his hammy there. And look, we as Arsenal fans should know all about hammies and what a pain they are. But with that, the fans they were singing Gary Neville is a wanker. Oh yeah, I did hear that part actually. Yeah.
So nice, good referencing there, fans, and there was some good travelling army stuff, and my sort of final highlight. Is the Madueke. I think he had a fantastic performance, and his corners. So now we're not so stressy if Saka's not there. Madueke and his corners are is superb. They, three or four really good deliveries, and look, we got our goals for them. So I thought his performance was good. What did you make of sort of the Nelli performance and the Madueke performance?
I was very on the fence about Madueke. I couldn't tell whether he flatters to deceive or not. I don't like. I was like sure that he played well, but I didn't know if I was over exaggerating how well he played because he does 5 step overs and beats a man, and just that's all he does. Obviously, the defensive aspect of his performance is less. Like he's not as needed in a game against Portsmouth, and maybe if he played the same way against in a more difficult game, then it would be a bit more noticeable. I agree in the that he did play really, really well, and to be fair, he was probably my man of the match. But I was just unsure whether, like, just because he looks good and whether it actually means anything, if that makes sense.
No, I see. Well, I'm putting it down to what his corners were good, and we scored. Well, we scored 3. Were they all from his side? I think they were. They all. Were they all? No.
The Norgard one was an in-swinger from. No,
that was it. So but two of Nelly's headers were from his corners, and he won the penalty from his trickery. Yep. He won the corner for the goal. So won the corner that preceded Nelly's hat-trick goal. So no, I think he in a way, I know Nelly was there to put the ball away and get the hat trick, but I think Madueke's all round performance, I think was I think one of the better ones on.
They're never going to give the man of the match to Madueke though. That's what I was thinking. He reminded me a little bit. The amount of fouls he was winning reminded me a little bit of how Saka used to be. It was a very old Saka-esque performance. Saka now, maybe you don't see as much of him getting kicked and fouled up in the air, but there was a couple seasons ago where he was just getting fouled and fouled and fouled every game, and it sort of reminded me how he'd literally every time he'd get the ball, go inside, and then get tripped up, fouled. It reminded me a little bit of that. Yeah.
No, I see. But if he keeps getting fouled, it means he's doing something. He's a danger. So, and again, bit of end product. So it's nice to see. I think we can. It showed even again when he came against Liverpool. It's not so much of a drop off taking Saka off, and actually he did something different to what Saka does, and so on. He really is that direct and really takes it to the byline. He doesn't so much. Saka will cut inside, I think, a bit further out, sort of towards the edge of the box. He really drives into the box, and it's nice to see. I think it's a pleasant change. He's got the pace, so you could see he was our main threat. Shall we say? I would say so. So, look, in terms of the game as a whole, what was your? How did you feel about the game as a whole? Sort of how it panned out, initially, and then the result.
Well, again, very surprised about how we started. Did not expect that at all, but I never really felt that as soon as we needed to get the equaliser quickly, because it was very easy. It would have very easily turned into a very scrappy game where we were struggling to just score. But that's it's a bit lucky that Portsmouth have conceded the second most amount of goals from corners in the Championship behind Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, and we had five corners, scored 3 goals from them. I think something it was. Like that, So that sort of helped a lot. But I still think
we had 8 corners.
Did we have 8 corners? Really?
Yeah. According to FotMob, we had 8.
Well, there was a period in the game where we'd had 4 corners and we'd scored from 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely helped that we were able to get make a very, very quick response. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the game could have definitely gone in a very, very different way. I still didn't think we played amazingly, aside from the set pieces. But I also do think that if we needed to, we would have been able to. If we hadn't gotten the goals from corners quickly, then we probably still would have found a way, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, the haters are going to hate this. Everything about this game is going to just boil the piss of all the haters, because Nelli getting a hat trick after what he did midweek. So all of a sudden, he's in the limelight, and he's now getting all the plaudits for that. But also our equalising goal. So equalising goal.
Own goal.
It was a set piece own goal. So again, and look, to be honest, if the guy hadn't put it in, and Dazelle, son of former Tottenham player Jason Dazelle, so I think Jamie was referring onto it on the preview pod that he was looking forward to Dazelle having a mare, and well, there you go, Jamie, well predicted. And so
along those same lines, it was nice for Zach Swanson, ex-Arsenal Academy, to give us a free penalty, even though Madueke couldn't step up to the plate. It was nice for him to help us out with that one as well.
Yeah, so the haters are going to hate set piece goals, an own goal, and all the rest of it. And we miss a penalty and we still going to win. And look, to be honest, I mean, my initial thoughts before the game was that it was nice to take the stress away from the Premier League. That was short-lived, 3 minutes in. But I was very unmoved when they scored. I just sort of looked at it. It's 3 minutes in. Fine, whatever.
It was the worst time for them to score. They would have loved it. They would have loved it, but also absolutely hated it at the same time. The worst time to go 1-0 up is early in the game, because it makes pretty much 0 difference.
Yeah, scored too early. But look, it's the FA Cup, and it's bizarre how it can be a great equaliser. Shocks happen. The best teams don't always win. There's something about it. And yes, you'll get results like City, but then also Palace go and lose. Is it away or at home?
Away at Macclesfield.
Away at Macclesfield. So you do need to be wary. You do need to treat it with a bit of respect. And maybe we just caught out. I don't think we go in there. I don't think people that go in there nonchalantly, people go in there sort of arrogant and stuff. But it was to realise that even against these lower teams that are struggling, form goes out of the window, and you need to be on it from the beginning. And I was never worried. I wasn't moved when they scored, and I wasn't that particularly moved when we equalised. It's just because 3 minutes in, you start to worry if it's like 1-1 at 70, and then you get footballed. But in general, plus difficult conditions. I said the crowd all over it, small stadium. we had a mixed team, mixed formation, rusty players, and so yeah, I think it's sort of not completely as expected, but you're not surprised when these things happen. But eventually, the quality tells. I think it was particularly by about the 35th minute, our pace, our passing, our movement. Eventually, it was just getting too much for them, and Portsmouth had spells. But yeah, I was never massively concerned. But also,
you only had 4 minutes to be concerned.
No, but even throughout the game, it was never comfortable. Even at 2-1, so we should have gone 3-1 up, and that was it. So at 2-1,
it was never uncomfortable. Yeah.
It was never uncomfortable until we got the third and fourth goal. Because even after the third goal, they had corner after corner. They had 4 or 5 corners and stuff. So they get to 3-2. So football's stupid, as I've said oftentimes, and all the rest of it. But also, then again, if you look in the cold light of day, now this was in the end an easy win, and so on. So yeah, we weren't footballed, we weren't FA Cupped. We did it. So that, there we go. So we talked about the first goal. I said, I think mistakes all round, but nice finish. And then we get the corner for 1-1. So 1-1 after 11 minutes. That's fine. And then 25th was the 2-1 Nelli.
Yep.
Just a nice run, a nice header.
Mm-hmm.
That was, and so a nice movement. And actually, maybe they're not expecting him to get there. I mean, it shows his centre forward credentials, even though we never play him centre forward. Him getting a header gets it.
He was really good at headers back in the day. I remember him scoring a few when he was like 18, 19 in the Europa League and stuff. He scored a couple really good headers. He's always been a decent header of the ball, I thought, but it just doesn't. It's harder for him to show it when he's on the wing,
on the left wing, and even at corners. When he's been playing, he's never been that man to get there. I think that's the sort of role I think Timber sometimes plays. So he was taking the run that Timber normally takes. So good on him. And again, now it's just another option. Who am I following? Do I take him? Do I take him? So I think it's great that we share this stuff around. And then we got control, and we should really be 3-1. First off, Nelli ankles it into the far post when he's got the goal gaping.
Yeah. I feel like Madueke, did the defender get a touch? Did you? Because it bounced above Madueke's foot, and I wasn't sure whether that was the pitch or was that the defender.
Nelly's foot.
I think Madueke could have tapped it in before that, but it literally bounced above his foot. And I've tried to replay it and see if it was the pitch or the defender, but I think I was certain Madueke was going to tap it in before Gabby hit the post with it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I can't remember, but either way, Martinelli just couldn't get his feet right and get it in, and that should have been 3-1. And then we get the penalty. Good run by Noni. Swanson takes it. It's a clear pen. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And we've got a comment here, J31001. When will players just pick a spot and hit it as hard as they can? So tired of this stutter step BS. Yeah, where's Gyökeres when you need him just to like twat the ball? I mean, what can you say?
It's the worst penalty I can remember in a while.
Yeah,
completely off target. I don't know. I think if he's the type of player that I feel like if he has a bit more pressure on him, he's more likely to score.
Yeah, I like that thinking.
So maybe because he thought it was just too easy, he could just stroll it in, and then he bit overconfidence. But I don't know.
The thing is, he'd done the hard work. He sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. So I'm not sure he actually needed to place it that hard. All he had to do was just kick it towards the goal.
Roll it in the corner.
Roll it in the corner. So it was sort of like he'd done the hard. He'd sold the keeper, but he went through, and then maybe he just needed to just take it a little bit off the backswing. He didn't even have to curl it. There was a nice little curl and all the rest of it. So, but look, ultimately it didn't matter. But it would have made it a bit more comfortable. I'm sure he would have liked to score. Other things I sort of noticed in the first half, sort of negative, but I thought Jesus was a bit anonymous as well. But again, so is that a centre forward problem, or is that the way we were playing a midfield problem? And Marino is not a 6.
I didn't think it was that bad.
No. I don't think it was bad. He's not a 6, so he's not sitting there at the base like a Rice would, like a Zubimendi, control the ball. Even Nordgaard would be better there. I didn't. Again, not in terms of point. I just think in terms of, and I think in the second half he was definitely further forward. He was definitely further forward. So I don't know what the adjustment was at FC, but he was
maybe
just
definitely wanted to be.
Well, obviously Arteta must have told him, but yeah, he's not. So I think because we had a bit of a dysfunctional midfield, a bit of a shall we say a midfield that would be just good on the counter, good on transition, as opposed to right, we're going to sit here and control it. You haven't got Zubimendi pass and move. Now that's partly Portsmouth doing that, but that's also the personnel. And I think that goes to why we didn't control it so much. And Mourinho was much better, more involved, much more himself in the second half, where he pushed further up. And I think maybe when Eri dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe fulfill the sort of more.
He was good at getting the ball from deep, to be fair, and driving.
Yeah, exactly. And Eze, I think he was more of the false, number 10, sort of trying to be up front a bit further forward with Jesus. But yeah, again, a bit disjointed. So that sort of goes into the way.
But as you'd expect with all the rotations and changes that we make, so it's
what
it
is what it is. And then we said, look, quickly into the second half, 54th minute, and a quick free kick by MLS. I think the one good thing that Jesus did, it was what a cross.
Probably the one good thing that MLS did as well, to be fair. I don't want to be harsh on him because he is but it has been.
Yeah, look, you're his age, so you can you can say it how it is.
No, but it just feels like everyone's been down on him at the moment, and I don't know. So I don't really have much to say apart from what we already know. He just looks a bit off, and I don't know again if that comes with inconsistent minutes or not having a run of games in the team. But
he's gonna get a run now, isn't he?
Yeah. So.
But he had that moment. He got turned. I think it was harsh yellow card, because I think that was really clever play by the attacker, because the attacker was, and as I've taught you many a time, grabbing onto the shirt of MLS. And then throws himself to the floor, and then it looks like MLS is the one fouling, and actually it's very 50-50. And if you look at that in the cold light of day, that's not MLS fouling him, but because of the position, because of where the ref is, it's really good centre forward play to buy the foul, and it's a yellow card because of the positioning. But in a way, MLS is a bit on the wrong side of it, and yes, it's a tough one for him. But look, I'm sure he's going to improve. The more he plays, the better he'll be. But it's that difficult second season, as they say. But anyway, so before that, look, takes free kick. Look, Jay's, and this is where Portsmouth are tiring. They switch off. Like someone in the Premier League would be in front of MLS, making sure he doesn't take the quick free kick. Jesus is in acres of space, and then what a cross!
Very, very good pass.
In the corridor of uncertainty, as they call it in cricketing terms, but. And nice to see someone get on the end of a ball that goes across the box. We were
making up for his little earlier mistake, and you can see him talking to Ben White about it at the end. We were laughing about Ben White's like, "Why did you not score when I did this for you?" And
oh right, I didn't. I was too busy prepping for this. Oh, nice.
Laughed about it together.
Yeah, no, it's good. And look, we were complaining about it against Liverpool. So great far post run. He did well to adjust his feet, because you could see he wanted to hit it with his right foot and so on. So yeah, that's 3-1, and that's pretty much game over. And then it's definitely game over in the 72nd minute with his fourth goal, and another header. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done better, but it was a good header. And again, that came from a really nice move where we went. Actually, I think it stemmed just before then. Portsmouth had a shot after a corner which Ben White blocked, and it was a really good block. And then we moved all the way up the pitch. Again, great movement, great play.
It was the one the back post one, wasn't it?
Back
on the half volley,
and Ben White had given away because it stemmed, even then the corner that we gave away stemmed from a good attack. Ben White gave away the corner, so good. So like 4-1, total control. That's Nelli's first senior hat trick, 9th goal of the season. So yeah, and look, here's a nice little stat for you. The last time we played Portsmouth, we went on to win the FA Cup. So
Socrates,
yes,
from another corner.
Yes. Oh God, how did we win that FA Cup? So yeah, I mean, any other thoughts on the performance? Any other thoughts on the game? I found out any other mentions of any particular players that you enjoyed or didn't?
Gone over it all already. Havertz was good when he came on. I was a bit not upset, but I was a bit upset when Odegaard got subbed on and he came on for Nervy and not Eze. But I don't know if that's because Eze played worse, so you want him to like play maybe a bit better, whereas Ethan already played well. But I was sort of wanted maybe Ethan to get a full run out of minutes. But
I think it's just because I think Odegaard was just going to sit, so let Ezra be up there, see how Ezra and Havertz work out together and stuff like that. So I think it's just one of those things. Nothing really too much to read in. We're in total control. He's just going to sit there, pass the ball around. Yeah, it's fine. And look, we don't know the fitness of these players, the state of these players, and I think it's just more. It was more of a like for like substitution, and also didn't Ezra go wide right? Wide left.
He went left when Sam and someone else.
No, Martinelli
came on. When Zubimendi came on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or
exactly.
Martinelli.
So,
and I think it's probably worth giving a shout out to Marley Salmon. He youngest ever player for us in the FA Cup.
Wow. Okay.
And he only played 5-10 minutes, but made a good side tackle on their left winger and. Yeah, looks solid enough. Nothing to say, but I guess that's a compliment to him.
Yeah. Good sign. Good sign for him. Yeah. So look, job done. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup. Unlike our friends or enemies from up the road in Middle.
Not our friends.
no, our frenemies, shall we say, from up the road in Middlesex. Just need to hold on until the 22nd of February. Is it 22nd of February when we play them? Come on, Frank, you can do it. Something like that. But it's not looking good for them. So there we go. Not much else to say. But what we're going to do is look at your 3-word review. So if you give me a moment to find my social tabs.
Well, whilst you're finding them, I will give you mine.
What was your 3-word review? Go on.
About bloody time. Because it's about bloody time that we got through to the 4th round of the FA Cup.
Oh, right. Okay.
Last 2 seasons, we've lost to Man United and Liverpool in the 3rd round. And it's just seems like it's been a long, long time after we won it that we've just been knocked out early, whether that was Forest when Lewis Graben scored, Man City when Ake scored, and then Man United and Liverpool. Like we've got tough draws in a lot of the most recent FA Cup ties. So this is just about time that we actually got through and showed that we actually can and not get knocked out early in the cup.
Yeah, no, indeed, and well, also that helps. It helps having easy opposition, not the likes of Liverpool or Forest or Man United. Yeah. I know. Okay, so. Okay, on threads, Sam13 Jaws says, welcome back, Kai. Yeah, I agree. Nice one. Welcome back, Kai. We've got Ask Cannon Picks on X going, the quad still on. It is. All four trophies are up for grabs. We're definitely there. Let's see. I didn't have enough time to think of one, and maybe people haven't seen it. And let's go to the Grove WhatsApp group to see what they've been saying. Here we go. We got Alex Monroe, Gabby. Yeah, a man after midnight. Shanice, quadruple is still on. Yeah, and Moz, Kai Havertz, baby. There we go. First, and then Owen. Oh, where's Owen? Actual day off. Okay, I think that relates to a previous comment. Thank you, Owen. So, I guess mine would be job done next. There we go. Job done next. Okay, right. And next in the FA Cup, but next up, even just talking about this club makes me
I have one more 3-word review that is coming in from Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
From my friend who is a Southampton fan, who says "fuck you, Pompey," and that's the last 3-word review that we have. First ever Snapchat 3-word review.
It is indeed. Don't get me involved in more social media. I'm clueless as it is with the stuff I got, let alone that. Okay, thank you, Matthew, for that. I'm not so down on Pompey like you, but all comments are welcome. So there we go. Anyway, how did Southampton get on in the FA Cup yesterday?
They beat Doncaster 3-2. They were 3-0 up, and then Doncaster brought it back to 3-2. Nervy lost 20 minutes or so, but they actually did get through as well. So maybe fingers crossed we can draw them next round.
Right, that's it. An away, so I can get an away point. Right, if I get to go. All right, and talking about away games in the Cup, coming up on Wednesday, the 14th of January at 8:00 at Stamford Bridge. Simon Hooper is the referee. We're playing Chelsea in the first leg of the Carabao Cup EFL semi-final. Now, regular listeners to the pod will know how much I hate this clown car of a club. And so the prospect of facing them in the two-legged semi-final fills me with a lot of trepidation. There's potential for a lot of fun to be had should we knock them out. But on the flip side, if we lose, it's going to be unbearable.
But who cares about the Carabao Cup, right? If we
this is. But before we get on, we got another 3-word review from Why Petty Grief 2. 3-word review from a Pompey fan. Wasn't 9-0. Thank you. You know
what that's in reference to?
They're losing to Man United.
No, Southampton has lost 9-0 twice in the Premier League to Man United and Leicester.
Oh wow!
So that's the reference. That's the reference.
Oh well, thank you for coming on board. I hope I think we've been relatively complimentary, and the only uncomplimentary view is from a Southampton fan.
Live score from Gunariano, Brighton beating Man United 1-0. So
get in. Thank you, Ian, for that. Brighton beating Man United 1-0. And I wonder what the reference to the Wolves game was. Someone was saying, when did Wolves play? Or they
were just talking about it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Brighton. Well, I don't know. Which is the harder game if you play them?
Probably Brighton. No, Brighton's easier.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you for your 3-word review, and well played. And we'll try not to be too patronising. I hope we weren't too patronising. Right. Anyway, so back to that clown car of a club. Do you care about the EFL? We have this discussion all the time and all the rest of it, but it'd be interesting to get your view. You're obviously younger than the usual people that are on this pod or potentially listen. You've not really seen us win anything other than FA Cup, but you're not really don't know how much you remember that. So how important?
I remember 2020.
Was it 2020?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, and look, you had Ganosaurus with you, who's pride of place behind. What are your thoughts on the EFL Cup? I mean, we're in the semi-final, so maybe different to earlier rounds. But
I've always been a bit more, not completely pro Carabao Cup, but it's been a lot more pro than you have been, and I've always thought that, well, maybe considering my subconscious bias, considering I just want to sort of just maybe the younger view that I just want to see us maybe lift a trophy or something. I've sort of always been, obviously haven't minded too much when we've gone out, but I wouldn't have also minded, and we would all quite enjoy it if we did win it. Obviously it doesn't change a lot, but I still like the fact that we go and not prioritize, but still don't fully rotate and still have a lot of good players playing in. And especially now, I think it's different. But even in the earlier rounds, if we were to play like someone bigger, like we have done in the past, I'm not against us going for it in certain aspects.
Okay, no, fair enough. No, I'm not anti us winning it either. I just don't want. I don't want to win it. It's just I don't want to win it at the expense of stuff. So and look, we're playing Chelsea. I've got some stats here. Who are the dirtiest team in the Premier? Statistically, they are the dirtiest team in the Premier League.
No, I know. Yeah.
They're top of the ill-disciplined league. They call it the disciplined league. No, I'm calling it the ill-disciplined.
Bottom or top?
Well, no, they'll be bottom of the discipline.
Yeah, because we're top of the discipline league, I think. Joined with
the way they do it anyway, they're top. They've in 21 games they've had 47 yellow cards and 5 red cards to Arsenal's. Arsenal are bottom.
We have 0 red cards, don't we?
We've got 0 red cards and only 29 yellow cards. And I'm concerned. What concerns me is, and we're not strangers to injuries. Yeah. So we go to their place. They're gonna want to prove a point. They're gonna want to take it to us. We're hated rivals. I just fear for our legs and so on. And look at the Man City game. They were directly or indirectly involved in a couple of players, being lost for the season or part of the season. There, you look what Caicedo tried to do to Marino. And look, Caicedo. Yeah, what a surprise! He's not going to be playing because he's suspended. Is
Cucurella suspended or
no? I think he was only suspended for the FA Cup for the FA Cup game, and I don't know if they cross transfer anyway. So, so I'm just a bit fearful of what it might do to our defence and so on. We'll get to who we think is going to play, but yeah. So, how do you think we're going to approach this? What do you think is going to be? Let's think about the lineup and our approach. What do you think?
My question is who is actually available. I feel like our defence there's only really one option though.
Well, go for it. So now in goal, do you think you just
David Raya? Raya. I'd play David Raya, 100%.
Okay.
And then I guess, do we have Hincapié or Calafiori? We don't.
No. Hincapié, I think Hampshire. I think
so MLS.
Hincapié.
MLS, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber.
Okay, not White.
No,
you're going full strength. So, and this is this. So we got Forest at the weekend, 5:30 Saturday. Here's a quick. Which is the bigger game for you?
I wrote this in my notes. Forest is the bigger game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But don't know. Timber didn't play that much today. I think I'd still give him minutes. I'd still start him. Saliba didn't play at all today. I'd start Saliba. I'd start Timber as well.
Okay. Well, I've got White, Saliba, Big G, MLS.
Okay.
Because we need to wrap Timber up in cotton wool. I think. Okay. And so your midfield.
Zubimendi, Marino, and Odegaard.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah. I don't know. I've gone Nordgaard, Odegaard, and Marino. I think we need Marino in there. I don't know because it's going to be a bit of a battle. But I do want to see Rice. Maybe Rice, Odegaard, Marino.
It's quite strong. I don't know. I put Zubimendi. I was thinking about Rice, but I put Zubimendi in there again.
Okay. And up front?
Trossard, Victor, and Madueke.
Yeah, I've gone Madueke, Jesus, and Martinelli.
Then again, Saka didn't get any minutes today, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't care. I save him. Save his ankles. For Forest. Forest is the bigger game. We still want to be in. The thing is, just don't be out of the tie.
I was going to say the only reason it is a bigger game is because it's the first leg at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and we can afford.
Even the second leg.
Think?
I would sacrifice getting through to the final if we could guarantee 3 points.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe because the first leg also weakens the importance.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so and yeah, sorry, I've just realised we might just run out of battery. How much have I got? 20%. Okay, that's fine. So look, in terms of that lot, Chelsea, they got through by beating Cardiff 3-1 away in the quarter final. Prior to that, they beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 4-3 away and Lincoln City 2-1 away, and they've been playing. Yeah, rotated sides like we have, and a bit like yesterday against Charlton. So the likes of Gulu playing Buonanotte, Santos, at Chempong, Jorgensen, Tosin, Badiashile, Hato. Yeah, so a bit like us, a couple of regulars, but also mainly rotated. I think Gulu's actually scored quite a few in the previous rounds. They also had a relatively, in the end, straightforward cup game, a bit like us. It was tight for a bit, and then all the rest of it. So yeah, and then in the league, this is very funny. So since they beat us 1-1 back in November, they've played 8, 1-1, and that was 2-0 against Everton. They've drawn 4 and lost 3. So they lost to Fulham, they lost to Aston Villa, and they lost to Leeds, and so their league form, I think they're fighting for Champions League places. So I think, and Rossignol's come in. I think he's going to want to make a statement. Even did he not? But saying that, even said they've got a small game on Wednesday. I'm sure he was just saying that tongue in cheek. It was tongue in cheek. People online are taking it seriously.
Just to wind up to get on the side of the fans as soon as he's coming in.
Exactly. So that's it. He going to want to make his mark, make a statement. So I think to them it's more important than it is to us. The crowd are going to be after it. We hate each other. We've talked about their discipline. They're going to be flying to challenges. And I don't want it to turn into this battle. I don't want them to go and kill us, leave us with injuries, and us going for it. So that's why it sort of plays into who we might play. Don't be out of the tie, a bit like Newcastle, but at least we've got the second leg at home.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to be dropping points against Forest as a result of this game. But I think they're going to be really, really up for it. It's going to be a really tricky game. How do you think it's going to sort of pan out? How do you think they're going to play? How do you think we're going to play?
I think you sort of said it. They're probably going to go for it a lot more than we are. Again, Rossignol's going to want to maybe make a statement. His first big game is the game he's played.
London
Charlton,
derby as well.
Charlton, big London derby, first London derby. Maybe that'll
second Charlton's London.
Maybe that'll go in our favour, and maybe he'll show maybe a bit of inexperience. But I do maybe think that they'll probably be wanting it a bit more than us, and that sort of leans into my prediction is 0-0. I've gone for leaning towards possibly 1-0 to Chelsea. But I don't see us winning, but just based on the fact that I don't think we will go for the win. Mm-hmm. And I think we'll be happy to take a draw back to the Emirates because I don't see us losing at home to them. Is my main logic. Yeah,
that's the thing with 0-0. 1-0 is quite easily it can happen, and all the rest of it. Ian or Gunariano. No, I've just realised it's not Gunariano, it's Guna Ian O. I'm saying it all in one go. Anyway, he thinks I think we'll go through handily. They aren't very good, and they are in a bit of turmoil in general. Yeah, I'm not so confident as you. I think they're going to be so up for that. I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm only there, but I want to. It's a tough one. I sort of want to be there and don't want to be there at the same time. It's just going to be horrible. I've been there before and seen us lose. It's not pleasant at the best of times. So, I mean, look, we have actually got a really good head-to-head record against them recently. We've not lost them since 22nd August 2021, and that was the Pablo Mari Romelu Lukaku mismatch.
That was at home, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah,
Reece James and Lukaku. Yeah.
Yeah, Guna Ian O. There you go. He's come back. I've got it, Ian. I've got it. Thank you. We drew earlier this season. And then we won 1-0 last season. We've given them a couple of hidings: 5-0, 3-1, 4-0, 4-2. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, tight, close affair. Yeah, I think I've gone for 1-1. Maybe they might edge it 2-1, but just long as if we go in with a 1-goal differential, then I'll sort of take it. I'd rather, my main thing is come out with no injuries and we go to Forest fully fit, then bust a gut.
You're saying all this stuff. I'd still rather play out of the 3 other teams left. I would still rather play Chelsea than the other 2. I reckon in the second.
Then City.
Yeah,
I'd be wanting to play City at the moment with no defence and their primary focus. Yeah, I would have agreed the same. Definitely don't want to. I wouldn't want to play them again. But I think if we'd got City and we played them now, that would have been interesting.
Maybe that's looking onto the final, that you wouldn't want to lose to Chelsea in the final, even though that's a bit of a negative. Yeah, that's a bit of a negative mentality. Yeah. But losing to Man City or Newcastle in the final isn't as bad as losing to Chelsea.
Yeah. Let's see. We got to get through first. So you're
last
going
time we played Chelsea in a League Cup semi-final, we did go through, and then we lost 3-0 to Man City in the final. So
but that was Mustafi against
very, very different team. Yeah, Aguero against Aguero.
Aguero, yeah, exactly. So look, you've gone 0-0. I'm going 1-1. So I think we'll both take a draw. And what's in? How many minutes do you think Havertz will get across both legs? Do you think he won't start? But do you reckon he'll have? I think this is a good chance for him to get some minutes under his legs.
I don't know about maybe like 30, 60 minutes. Maybe it depends. I guess it depends on what Victor's doing or not doing.
Not a lot.
Yeah, so I think maybe give him 30-25, probably. About that sounds good.
On Victor, were you surprised? I think we talked about it beforehand, and you wanted Jesus to start today, and I think I wanted Gyökeres to start. Were you surprised he didn't get any minutes? But then again, how does Havertz get minutes? I don't know.
I wasn't really surprised he didn't get any minutes, to be honest. Okay. I thought, I'd assumed he was going to play against Chelsea in the week, and I didn't really, and probably start against Forest as well, depending on how the Havertz situation. So I didn't. Maybe we didn't need him to come on really. So and it's nice to see Havertz give him some minutes. There was no really reason for Victor to come on. So in the end of the day, I was fine with it and didn't really expect it either.
No. Okay, fair enough. Okay, well there we go. The quad is still on. Thank you, Pompey. We had a good game, but I think ultimately the quality told, and I think you've got bigger and more important fish to fry. We play that lot. Those clowns from West London. Let's see what happens. So there we go. Look, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for listening, and look, thank you Gianluca for joining me today. Well done, and thanks, and I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe it isn't the last time we see you.
I hope not, because I did have fun, and thank you very much for having me on.
It's a pleasure. And look, you've helped me out, seeing as the usual crowd weren't able.
The next time you have to you get ChatGPT on just to answer your questions, and an AI generate an answer maybe next time if you can't have another guest.
Exactly, that's it. I'll just do a solo pod with the AI. Okay. Well, look, anyway, thank you, and look, I hope everyone enjoyed that. And look, you can find us and follow us on Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all the usual things at the Grove AFC. The next show will be after the semi-final. There won't be any hot off the pitch because, actually, as I said, I'll be there, but there'll be main pod mostly Thursday. Please subscribe to our channel on the YouTube at the Grove AFC and on the podcast apps. We really appreciate it. We do notice it. We do see the difference, and it helps get us into the ears of other, and hopefully into the ears of the youth, because they permanently have their earphones in at all times. So thank you, Gianluca. Now you've got an exam to revise for tomorrow, so good luck. Best of luck with that, and hope that goes well for you. And your evening's not too bad, filling your head full of accounts. And thank you for listening. And until the next time, come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners, indeed.